Hello and welcome back to A Woman Talks, the podcast. I hope you're doing well. I hope you're doing fine وكل شيء بخير وعلى خير. I am a woman who talks and we will be spending the next few minutes together. In this episode, the fourth episode, and yeah, we are 4 episodes far away from the start. I would love to thank you so much for your continuous support. It really helps me keep doing it and it really keeps challenging me. So in today's episode, I want to talk about the emotional burnout. As usual, I will start exploring with you the emotional burnout, its symptoms, with some anecdotes of mine because I experienced it. And lastly, what to do about it. And regarding this, I want to explain a point before actually starting. I want to explain the amore fati mindset. Amore fati translates to love of fate. It's the idea and practice of embracing everything that life throws at you, the good and the bad, the calm and the chaos. And because while preparing this episode, I asked myself, is this really what you want to do? Point out a problem that some people may not even identify it yet on themselves. This is easily interpretable so bad. But I answered myself, and I may be answering some of you if you ever had this thought. I am not here to نفتح الجرح ونروح. I am here to try to help you as I found help myself. Identifying issues, recognizing them, and then trying either to heal them, beat them, or even trying to live with them. إيه بصح ما كناش نسحقوها قاوي لما نعرفوهمش. Someone may say, yeah, I agree. I said multiple times and one of you agreed with me under the anxiety video in a comment. If you don't know these issues, you may be the happiest. Congratulations and really good for you. But once you start feeling unwell and you don't know why, then start looking for a reason, you may get lost. Putting a word on a symptom may help you deal with it. Google it. Look for it. This identification ain't easy. It's highly recommended to be done by a therapist, as I usually do. But if you don't have access to a therapist right now for any possible reason, here I am trying to share my humble knowledge with you. مشي نفتح الجرح ونروح من ديزانفكتيه ونشوفه ديجا. I acknowledge its existence وننوي نداويه. With the amore fati mindset, I embrace the bad in me as much as I embrace the good in me. Exactly the same. I accept whatever happens to me, the calm and the chaos. And this had been known for 14 centennials by الإيمان بالقضاء والقدر, which is ركن من أركان الإيمان. So yeah, I believe whatever happened to me is خير, and I will face it بالأمور فاتي mindset. ننوي نعالجه, and I do. And then I share this with you. So please, I am not here giving negative vibes. I am here acknowledging the existence of negative vibes, then facing them. So yeah, after this long introduction, let's dive in. What is an emotional burnout? It can be when you are at home watching TV, but you realize you ain't watching. When you may be sitting with friends, but you ain't even listening. When you are in transports with headphones on, but you ain't listening to one lyric or looking at any view around. When you are looking at the space disconnected from your surroundings, when you are just there, sitting or standing or wherever, looking at the space, not thinking about anything, not doing anything. It's only space in your head, in your mind, in your heart. It's like your brain powered off, plane mode activated. It's like someone pressed the off button. A lot is happening around you, but nothing is happening with you. Weird, right? I know. First time I felt this, it was a few years ago, 7 or 8 years ago to be precise. I had a super important exam in uni to pass to the next cycle. I found myself countless times staring at the sky, at a cat, at a random something or someone, powered off. I may experienced that before, but it may was short and I didn't have the word to put it on the feeling or on the thing. During that period, the exam period, it was clear, repetitive and long. I was not anxious about it. I was not imagining the worst scenarios possible, like failing it or anything. No. I was shut it down so often, so much. Caught myself or people caught me staring at something with empty eyes, heart and mind. I didn't know why. I didn't know what was it. So as everything else, the only way to go out from it is to actually go through it. And I didn't heal it or even describe it. فاتت هكا. Years later, it happened again, and they could ask for professional help. And yeah, it was an emotional burnout. We know the burnout, the normal one. We talk about it, we can identify it. The professional burnout during work is easily recognizable and fixable by taking a vacation. The professional burnout during studies is easily recognizable and fixable by taking a gap year. But what is an emotional burnout and how to fix it especially? It's to find yourself in a drained spot, extremely drained, mentally, emotionally. It comes from a continuous stress phase or an emotional overwhelm. A continuous stress phase is when you keep spending your emotions on stressing over things continuously, repetitively, without having a source to gain back these emotions. So wrong. But the emotional overwhelm is even more wrong. In my case, it was the mixture of two. Contrary to the professional burnout, the emotional burnout can touch aspects of your personal life. And here we are talking of your daily life. So we can't really see the warnings because it starts minor, it starts small. During the professional burnout, you can see it, you can recognize it. When you start having multiple extra hours every day, every week, you work on weekends, you come first, you leave last, you skip your lunch break, or you eat on your desk. When there is a lot of engagements, a lot of deliverables, a lot of deadlines, when your N+1 or N+2 keep pushing you, so you want to get their satisfaction, so you continue giving. You continue taking from your time and giving. You continue taking from your personal time and giving. When you continue taking from yourself and giving, in this situation, people around you will notice. Friends, family, they will be able to recognize that you are passing by a professional burnout, and they will warn you. We have the reflex to know and identify the professional burnout, but we do not have the reflex to know and identify the emotional one. I don't remember listening to anyone warning me from getting drained as a consequence of giving generously, except my therapist, of course. It's just not common, to say the least. It's like you are so drained that you have nothing more to give. It's not that you don't want to, it's just you can't. You are not able to. But since we are ناس ملاح ومربينا مليح ولفنا نمدو بلا حساب, so we can't just stop. We continue to give by taking from ourselves. To not disappoint, to keep pleasing people, to not be judged, in order to whatever. Only God knows what. But we continue anyways. So when you feel that you can't, nothing remains in you to give, you start taking from your own self to be able to continue giving attention, giving affection, giving love, support. You continue being there for them, you continue listening to their problems, interacting with them, answering them, finding out solutions for their problems, even if you ignored your own ones. You ignored your own problems because you couldn't. Nothing remains in you to solve things out. Isn't that weird? Committing to others and degrading yourself? How can people be so mean to themselves? A few years ago, I read something that changed my life somehow. I don't remember the expression well, but I remember the meaning very well, and I make sure to apply it daily. Treat yourself the way you treat your best friend. Simple. You see, with your best friend, you are a better version of you. You think of their preferences, you put their circumstances in consideration, you support them. يلقاو عندك الطبطبة والفضفضة. You do your best for them. Well, this is how you should treat yourself. Think of your preferences. Think of your circumstances. What is possible and what is impossible due to circumstances. Support yourself. Allow yourself الطبطبة والفضفضة. Do your best for yourself. Be the best version of yourself with yourself. Since I embraced this mindset, the battles in my mind have quieted down. I used to be so hard on myself. I still am, but I am moderating it. So whenever I find myself نحرم روحي بهنزيد نمد نبراكي. Today, I am able to identify when I am drained, and I am nice enough to myself to prevent her from giving more and more when the emotional battery is on the red level. You should do so. About the symptoms of an emotional burnout, there is no major event nor a bad thing that must be happening so you reach that. My own anecdote, when I experienced it for the first time, when I noticed it actually for the first time, was during a hard period. But globally, there must not be something bad happening. It just floats on the surface. After years and years of unconditional generosity, it happens when people around you, close one especially, keep taking from you without actually willing to do. They take your energy, your time, They take you from you without giving back. And since we are مربين مليح, seriously, I am not criticizing how we were raised. We were raised well, alhamdulillah. But we were raised to give unconditionally, to maintain relationships. We do it unconsciously. We are so much under the burden of maintaining relationships that we don't even ask, does the other part do for me as much as I do for them? Do they do for me anything at all? Is this relationship is held on my personal energy, personal time, personal affection, personal gifts, surprises, supports, aid? We were not raised to be this or to do this, to calculate ولا تنمدو بحساب. But is it right? We may do this, we may calculate, but we do it in some kind of casual relationships or at work. But for the close ones, the daily ones, I don't think that we have yet the reflex to protect ourselves from our beloved ones. Harsh, I know, but unfortunately true. Because without even realizing it, you lose yourself. You start to reach the red level, the negative part. I don't know who you are thinking about right now, who drained you, and it doesn't matter, to be honest. It is done now. Most important is what you will do about it. Me personally, I couldn't make the link between these two things, between the emotional burnout, being drained, and the people around me and how much I gave them. For me, it was always you need to give, you have to give. Maybe because we treat others the way we want them to treat us, until I found myself trapped. And even if I learned to be nice to myself, I usually find myself emotionally burned out. It just happened. Slowly, you can't control it, but once you recognize it, be nice to you and tell yourself, c'est pas grave, ça va aller. You see your situation now, sweetheart. You know what overgiving can do to you. Let's get ourselves together. Talk to yourself like this, please. كما تقولي لصاحبتك معليش حبيبتي، قولي لروحك معليش حبيبتي، معليش sweetheart, معليش sunshine. We will fix it together like we fixed everything else على مدار السنين. And to do that, do not ignore what your body is telling you. Your body will always send you signs. Either you are sick mysteriously, or your back is blocked very often, your head hurts on daily basis, or even your eyes get red. It can be anything, really random things where you don't know where this is coming from. Pay attention and listen to your body. Make the links. Sometimes it's more simple than you think. Just get yourself together and ask for help. If your body calling for help, then you need help. It can go for days, weeks, and maybe months where you're just not well. If it's the case, book a therapist. Booking a therapist is like driving a car while it's raining. When it rains, you know that you need to activate the wipe glasses, but you just don't. You get lazy. You'll tell yourself, I know the city, I know the roads, I am not even driving fast. I see. not so well, but I see anyways. You are not comfortable, but you tell yourself it's okay. For me, seeing a therapist is not giving up the driver's seat. Seeing a therapist is just having someone who will turn on the wipe glasses for you. You're still in control of your life. It will steal your calls and your decisions, but you will be more comfortable, more aware of the road and the surroundings. So maybe now, if you feel emotionally burned out, maybe this is just what you need. Anyways, it's up to you. The emotional burnout. How do you know that you are emotionally drained? When you are just tired, always so tired, then you will have the want to disconnect from everything, everyone. Nothing excites you. Nothing makes you feel anything. You are just neutral. This can make you act with people around you as you used to normally behave. So they won't notice. They won't notice that now, in this very moment, you are just neutral. You cannot think of anything and you cannot feel anything. You don't have the energy to do or feel, so you just disconnect. Maybe you even disconnect from yourself, which can explain why you still do the acting to please others while you are drained. Why do you continue to do things while you are burned out? You lose the interest. You don't find the same pleasure or any pleasure at all in things you used to do and love. Little things like this. I say little, but nothing is little in this at all. One more thing that may make a lot of sense is being sensitive. Very sensitive, very moody. Mood swings like during your period multiplied by 10. So happy, then so mad, then crying, then laughing. Yeah, those was the symptoms of the emotional burnout. What to do about them? I will always continue to say, ask a therapist, because that's what I did. I did because I needed to understand le pourquoi de comment. I wanted to resolve the problem, but I didn't know what was it. I knew no friend, no sister, no parent, no significant other can resolve this for me or help me about it. I knew a professional help needed. And the result of the session was I needed to put boundaries. That was hilarious because if you know me in personal life, you will know that I'm queen of boundaries. But with time, I forgot. I let things go little by little by little. So my little advice to you is that you need to make sure that you redraw your boundaries whenever you realize they wiped off. You need to re-put yourself first whenever you realize you just forgot to do so for a couple of weeks or months or years. The solution is as simple as that. The solution is to prioritize yourself, to take care of yourself. How is that? Book a trip, a flight, a ride, wherever it is. Go run from all of this and all of those for a weekend, 3 days, a week, whatever it takes. Parce que tu vaux le coup. Take a rest, fais le bilan. Get closer from nature, reconnect with grass, breathe. Breathe. Take time to write your emotions, to read. Remets tout en question. Reprioritize your life, your decisions, your people, your relationships. Work on yourself and your life without interruptions, without getting so inside the thing so you lose the overall overview. You dive so deep so you can't see from above. See from above. You will see it differently. If you can't book a trip, if you don't have the luxury to do it right now, do it wherever you are, in your room, at your desk, in your bed. Take a pen and a paper, and get your life together and write it down. Write it all down. Your fears, your hopes, your dreams, your challenges, your projects. Where are you at? What are you aiming for? Put you in the first place. You matter more than anyone. شتا من شتا وكره من كره. Love yourself, because if you can't love yourself, you can't offer love. It's okay to be selfish. مشي هكا تربينا بصح معليش. ربونا هكا قبل because everyone can بالنية. Everyone can يمد بالحساب. So they were balanced in terms of giving and receiving. بكري كانت الناس لبعضها كي يطيح واحد يرفدوه. Today it's not longer the case. People are selfish. People are mean. Life is complicated. اللي يطيح وحده كون ما ينفضش الغبر على روحه واحد ما ينفضها عليه. It's okay to be a little selfish, to be able to face all of that. It's okay to be a little selfish, to save yourself. It's okay to put yourself first. It's baby steps. Do not hate your beloved ones. Do not cut your connections with them. Just start prioritizing yourself. And it feels good. So to close up this episode, I don't know if you could identify yourself in the sentence. I hope not. But if it's the case, if you feel that you are emotionally burned out and you have nothing left to give for no one, it's okay. C'est pas grave. It's not easy, I know. You don't know even where this is coming from. Take a little break. Recenter everything around you. And maybe it's time to reprioritize. It won't be solved by a trip or one-time deep reflection. If you arrived here, if you feel that you are drained, it means that you gave too much for so long, that you have nothing more to give, so give yourself time. You need to take time. Years' effect won't be erased in days, but nuit ou أبدا. And it will be always alright. Thank you so much for spending the past few minutes with me. If you don't know me, I am a woman who talks. If and only if you like the podcast, please hit the like button, subscribe and activate the bell so you will get notified every time I upload a new episode. Bye!